delighted to be here to support the Los Angeles Conservancy and this wonderful work they do in restoring these theaters so we can watch a classic like Roman Holiday here. Roman Holiday broke new ground in the way films were made in 1952. Director William Wyler wanted to shoot the film in Rome, and it became one of the first films to be, if not the first, to be shot entirely on location. So Wyler wanted to set it in the beautiful ancient streets and palazzos and piazzas and the fountains and the monuments of Rome, and he persuaded the studio to let him do it instead of making it on the back lot or in the sound stages. So off they went to Rome, and according to my dad, the Romans got very involved. They started to come out and watch the shooting. The crowds would get bigger every day, and they were vocal. They would express their opinion. When they liked a scene, they would say, va bene, perfetto, and they would applaud. But sometimes when they weren't convinced, they would say, ancora una volta, one more take. There was a director in all of them. Roman Holiday introduced the world to the magic of Audrey Hepburn. She was a completely unknown actress at 23, and after 2 weeks of shooting, my father was so stunned by her talent that he called his agent here in Los Angeles, and he said, George, what's the billing on this film? And George said, it's you above the title. And my father said, and where's Audrey Hepburn? And George said, well, it's Roman Holiday, and underneath, introducing Audrey Hepburn. And my father said, I want her above the title with me. And George said, why, Greg? You've worked hard for that billing. You don't have to do that. That's your prerogative. And my father said, I've never seen anything like her. She's absolutely remarkable. She's going to win the Oscar in her very first film, and she belongs above the title with me. Just do it. And he did it, and she did win the Oscar. Her name was above the title, and the rest is cinema history. Roman Holiday is very special to me because my father met my mother when he was in Europe making that film. My mom was a young French journalist, and she interviewed him for the film, and they fell in love and got married and spent their lives together. And so if it weren't for a Roman Holiday, I wouldn't be here. My amazing parents, who are no longer with us, but there is someone here I'd like you to meet. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see her, but my daughter, Ondine, is here. Ondine, can you stand up and say hi? Named after Audrey Hepburn's first play on Broadway, Ondine, and I hope that one day she will carry on her grandfather's legacy and introduce his films in beautiful theaters like this. My husband Daniel is also here. Daniel, do you want to wave? And also, before the lights go out, I believe that members of William Wyler's family are here. Would you stand up?
I didn't either.
I will leave you with one thing to look out for when you're watching the film. When my father puts his hand inside the mouth of truth, this ancient monument, I want you to look closely, because what happened next was totally unplanned, unrehearsed, and spontaneous, and what's on the screen is the very first and only take, so look out for that one. Can I ask how many here have never seen Roman Holiday before? A lot? Okay, you're in for a great treat. Sit back, enjoy this beautiful, timeless, enchanting, romantic film, Roman Holiday.